Good morning, 3rd through 5th grade. All right, before we get started on your individual lessons, we're going to do some multiplication and division practice. I'm trusting that you're doing multiplication and division and fraction, etc. practice on Mondays, on Math Practice Monday. But just in case you need a little bit extra practice, I have some cards here to try to beat you with. Okay, I mean, I'm going to try to get the answers before you do. All right, so we have our multiplication cards that we're going to do first. Aw, where are they? They're from Benny's. Do you guys remember Benny's? Benny's is my favorite store. All right, and Dollar Tree. So, actually, Target. I can't wait to go back to Target. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the cards with you, and I want you to try to beat me. I'm going to give you a few seconds to get the answer, and then I'm going to say the answer. And if you get the answer first, you win. If I get the answer first, I win. All right. So let's start with, not this one. On your mark, get set, go. 27, 72, 144, 18. Oops, I said it too fast. 18. 22. 0. 50. 6. 40. 0. 45. 72. 35. 36. 100. 32. 4. 81. 5. 12. 0. 40. 55. 33. 0. 90. 7. 25. 16. 2. 108. 120. 20. 30. 18. All right. Now let's do some division. How do you do? Did you beat me at all? All right. We're going to do some division. You can find multiplication and division cards at the dollar store. You can do practice online. All right, so these division cards are using this division symbol. So remember, we're dividing the dividend by the divisor to get the quotient. So this would be 5 divided by 1 is 5. I think you already knew that. Okay. 9, 8, 7. Think I'm seeing a pattern. 4, 3, 0, 3, 2, 5, 6, 4, 4, 9, 8, 5, 7, 5, 7, 3, 6, 7, 4, 5, 3, 9, 6, 1, 2, 8, 2, 9, 10, 2, 8, 5, and 6. All right, let's turn them around and see if you can get a little bit faster. 7, 9, 4, 3, 3, 5, 2, 3, 4, 7, 4, 6, 6, 5, 2, 9, 4, 8, 8, 1, 10, 3, 2, 7, 7, 9, 8, 5, 6, 8, 2, 5, 6, 9, 4, 10. All right, who would have won around the world, me or you? Hopefully you. All right, so I hope you are making sure that you're staying up on your practice. It's so important to know your multiplication and division tables. It'll help you in fractions, obviously in multiplication and division, and most other forms of math. So make sure you are practicing. Okay, 3rd grade, we need to turn to page 532 in our math book. All right, so for this lesson, it's kind of a fun lesson, practical. And for this lesson, you should need a few objects. And you might not have those objects with you. And I actually don't even know if I have those objects with me. I know I have some of them, but I don't have paper clips with me, okay? I'm sure I have some somewhere in my house, but I don't have them with me. So you're going to improvise just as much as I am. All right, so we're going to look at the activity on page 532. I do have a crayon and I have my ruler, okay? And you have a ruler in your book right there, if you see the inches right there. But we're going to see some practical things that you can use to measure objects, and you're going to kind of guess how long things are and how long, how many it takes to measure certain things. So for this activity, you're supposed to use a small paper clip, a large paper clip, and a crayon, okay? So it says copy the table. Okay, so we're just gonna look at the table in our book. And the table is underneath letter C, okay? It says copy the table, measure the length of your math book. Okay, all of you have your math book, all right? So you're gonna measure the length of your math book, and that's the long side, okay? Obviously, my math book is going to be a little bit longer than your math book because mine has all the teachery stuff in it too. But measure the length of your math book using a small paper clip, a large paper clip, and a crayon. And then we are supposed to record each measurement in the table. If you have a small paper clip, a large paper clip, and a crayon, I want you to pause this and do that right now. All right, all of you should at least be able to do it with a crayon. All right, so if you pause this, or if you're just gonna come along with me, we're going to talk about how long each of these, how many it takes in order to measure your math book for each thing. Okay, so according to my teacher's edition, it should take about 9 small paper clips to measure the length of your math book. It should take about 6 large paper clips to measure the length of your math book. And the length in crayons should be about 3 crayons. All right, so why do we not typically use objects to measure things? Well, because they're all different sizes, okay? But if you know about how long certain things are, it can make it so that you can, in a pinch, use those objects to measure things. Okay, so I have my crayon here because this is one of the things that I had. And if you look on the bottom of page 532, you'll see that a crayon is about 3 is 3 inches long to the nearest inch. Okay, so that would mean that a small paper clip, if this is 3 inches, a small paper clip would be about an inch. Okay, a large paper clip would be about 2 inches, and then a crayon would be about 3 inches. Okay, so let's talk about it. Number one, how could you estimate the width of your hand in inches? So you can find an object that is about an inch. So what would that be? The small paper clip is about an inch. And then decide how many would fit across your hand. Okay, so I have my crayon here. So I know this is about 3 inches. So I'm going to say that my hand is about 5 inches long. Okay, and it's almost 3 inches wide, including my thumb. It's like exactly 3 inches wide. Okay, all right. So you're going to do that. You're going to estimate about how many inches, or about the nearest inch, certain objects are on page 533, and you're going to do odd. That'll be fun. Okay, for tomorrow, we're going to measure to the nearest half and quarter inch. You knew fractions was going to end up in here because that's what we're talking about in this chapter. Okay, so if you have something that is in between 3 and 4 inches, like halfway in between, you're going to say it's about 3.5 inches. Okay, if you have something that looks like it's almost an inch, but not quite, it'll be about 3/4 of an inch. Okay, what if it's over the one? What if it's over 1 inch, but under 2 inches, and almost 2 inches, but not quite? It's in between 1.5 and 2 inches. What would that be? 1 3/4. Look down at that bug, the cricket. It says Cameron must measure a cricket for her science project. How long is the cricket to the nearest 1/4 of an inch? Okay, so we know that it's not, look at that cricket, you have to include the antenna. We know that it's not 1 1/4 inch. Okay, its second foot is about 1 1/4 inch, or the front arms, whatever. We know that it's not 1 1/2 inch, which would be 2/4, because that's right to the tip of its head, or tip of its little arms. And when we look at the tip of the antenna, it hits right about 1 3/4 of an inch. So that's to the nearest 1/4 of an inch. Okay, if you look up at example A, that one says how long is the ribbon to the nearest 1/2 inch. Okay, so we have 1 inches, 2 inches, 3 inches, and then the ribbon is closest to 3.5 inches. Okay, is asked to the nearest 1/2 inch. All right, so you're going to do that to the nearest 1/4 inch and nearest 1/2 inch on page 535, A and B odd, for your homework for tomorrow. Or if you're ambitious, do it together with your homework for tonight, and you can give yourself time off tomorrow for math, except for practicing math, or maybe baking, or maybe cutting pizza into quarters or eighths, and then eating it and subtracting it. Okay, so I will see you in a minute. Bye.